Okay, today we're going to talk to you about some basics of blind hunting for waterfowl, and specifically hunting Presque Isle Bay, which is located in Erie, Pennsylvania. First of all, you need a basic ground blind. Most of the blinds here are constructed of wood. I'm sitting in one as I'm explaining this for you. And they can be up to 12 foot long. Usually blinds hold 3 to 5 guys. And they're in certain locations all across the bay and all across Presque Isle. There is a lottery system which hunters can enter. The local duck club runs it, and they pick approximately 80 lucky winners that get to construct blinds on Presque Isle Bay. We're looking particularly here. This is what's called Thompson's Bay. It's a shallow inlet which comes right off of Lake Erie, and it's a nice funnel for waterfowl. The ducks come right off the point, which we call it, and that's the main Lake Erie here, and they rest here periodically between flights. We're in a particular spot which we're what we call the neck as locals. Again, it's kind of a funnel system between 2 points where the waterfall will come down. I'm fishing an evening here in mid-December 2016. I've got a very small spread. I've only got about a half a dozen or so decoys, a couple different species. There's a lot of big spreads out here, and by this time of the year the ducks get very wary, and sometimes I do better with small spreads. It doesn't seem to spook them as much. Out in front of me, a couple hundred yards, I can see large rafts of many different species of birds, including bluebill, gadwall. I see lots of mergansers out there, as well as coots that just came in off the lake. We had a storm last night, and these are resting birds. And I'm setting up just for a short evening hunt, see if I can get anything to come over. Water depth is very shallow here. I've only got about 3 feet in front of me, so I can wade efficiently, retrieve the waterfowl as needed. Many guys bring dogs, obviously, to retrieve, and others, prefer the boat or kayak method for retrieval. So, the only thing else I want to talk about is some of the basic gear you're going to need. Starting off, obviously, with a shotgun. I use a Benelli. You can use any kind of shotgun, obviously, as long as it's able to shoot steel shot. I prefer autoloaders for duck hunting. It's fast wing shooting, so I think autoloaders are the best. This is just a simple 12 gauge Super Black Eagle made by Benelli Firearms. Some of my gear that we're going to go over, very important. Binoculars, always a must. Helps with identification. You can see what's rafting out there. If you get a cripple, you can kind of monitor it. So binoculars are a very good thing to have. A couple calls. That's a nice feeding call. It kind of gets them in. And I got a double reed and a single reed. 2 different types of duck calls. At this time of year also, I don't do a whole lot of calling. Again, ducks are wary. They've been blind hunted for several months now. This is the tail end of the season. So I only do a small amount of calling, and overcalling sometimes can flare birds. You need a box of steel shot. No lead allowed in this region. I like the fast steel made by Kent. In 2 to 4s roughly is the shot that I use. We get some pretty big birds. A lot of divers out here that are pretty big birds, so I need something to knock them down. Any kind of steel shot is okay. Obviously camouflage. I'm wearing full camo waders jacket, and another big must is your mask. I always have a facial mask. Ducks can see the white or any kind of color other than camo, so I wear a nice mask so I'm not detected in the blind. So those are some basic gear. So we strongly encourage you to come out to Presque Isle. Some pretty good wing shooting out here. Obviously weather dependent. The worse weather is the better ducky days, I say. They're flying lower. And it's a great time. It's a nice long season. And the blinds are there's approximately 80 of them. And if you're the owner, obviously you're the first person in the blind. But there's always blinds that are not being used, so you can always come to Erie, jump in a blind, as long as you're a licensed hunter, and enjoy a nice time in the bay or overlooking the lake, and hopefully you have some luck. I will give you an update here if I get any birds before evening. Got a couple hours of light. I just set up for a short little hunt, and thank you for viewing my channel.